The stakeout.
There now, Vermont and Oakwood is now code 3. The suspect is now following the PR.
Is this the right place?
Yeah, there was a street sign about a block back, and the GPS is saying the same thing that the duty sergeant told us at roll call. If you move up about 20 feet or so, there's a street light out, so we can idle without looking too sus. Plus, there's a convenience store over there for a bathroom or donut run.
I like the way you think, Ortiz.
Thank you, Officer Fish.
Call me Bobby.
You could call me Ortiz.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole telenovelas worth of drama about my first name that I don't feel like getting into. Plus, this way, I don't have to tell my mother I spent the night alone with you and we're on a first-name basis. She won't have to have my aunties planning our wedding.
Okay, fair enough. This your first stakeout?
My first one here. At my old precinct, they love putting me in the park with a baby carriage dressed like a nanny.
Any problems with that?
Actually, stakeout-wise, it was pretty light lifting. Most of the creepy guys were off doing creepy guy things during nanny hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the ones you have to keep your eyes on are the women who want to take a look at the baby.
How do you get them to step back?
I know how to say ringworm in 7 languages.
The apple was the weapon.
Yeah, I guess that would do it. So did you catch the game last night?
No sports.
Beg pardon?
I'm not going to sit here for the next 6 hours getting mansplained about basketball. I've got brothers. I joined the force to get away from that.
All right, you have a unit.
Okay. Hockey?
No sports.
Johnny Appleseed on the air, Johnny Appleseed.
Soccer?
Sin deportes.
You realize I outrank you, right?
Not questioning that, Officer Fish. I'm just...
Yeah, script is,
Hey, did that window shade just move?
Apple, possibly a granny.
I think it did. Also, I'm not sure, but it looks like somebody turned on a really faint light in there. Maybe it's a candle. Call it in, would you?
On it, Officer Fish.
I saw a unit of 415 man with a chainsaw at the corner of Pico.
Any movement?
Nah, nothing's moving in there. I think she's reading a book or something.
She?
Book?
Johnny Appleseed on the air, Johnny Appleseed.
So, who do you think would win in a fight? A Canadian lynx or an ocelot?
Really? That's the conversation you want to have?
Answer the question, Officer Fish.
Okay, but it's a ridiculous premise to begin with.
How so?
Have you ever seen a lynx? My sister and her kids dragged me to the zoo once, and those guys are about the size of a Rottweiler.
Yeah, they are.
And they live in Canada or Siberia or somewhere, don't they?
They do. And they've got paws the size of tennis rackets.
Johnny Appleseed on the air, Johnny Appleseed.
And that other thing you said, the ox-a-lot or whatever, doesn't that live in a jungle or something?
Rainforests, yeah, down through South America.
So which one would win in a fight? And you're asking me this because...
I didn't like your questions. You're a bad question asker.
We've known each other for what, 20 minutes? And you're judging me already?
Stop stalling and answer the question, Officer Fish. Could a lynx take on an ocelot or not?
Okay. We've established that the lynx is big. Yeah? Like with ginormous paws?
Stunningly large.
And because he's from the North Pole or somewhere, he's going to have like super thick fur. Kind of like fur Kevlar.
Presumably.
And I don't know much about lynxes. But from the one my niece showed me, I gotta think he'd have like 40 pounds on the oxycontin or whatever.
Clearly. So you're saying lynx?
Yeah, I'm going with the lynx.
But have you ever seen an ocelot? It's like you start with a jaguar and compress it down with awesomeness. And I think they routinely eat poisonous snakes and crap just to remind the neighbors of who they're dealing with. They've got the market cornered on badassery.
Suspect there now, Vermont and Oakwood.
Okay,
Is now code
let's say
3.
that's
The
all
suspect
true.
is now following
It's
the
still
PR
like matching a
on the
kung fu
PR
master up against the Hulk.
arguing, yelling. Respond code 3
I've just got to think that the lynx would power through and kind of plow over the other guy.
Okay, granted. I think you're right that the lynx would dominate the physical confrontation itself.
Oakwood.
As opposed to, what, a financial one?
Suspect there now, Vermont
I
and
don't know.
Oakwood.
I can't help but thinking the ocelot would completely subjugate him, psychologically.
Now code 3.
She'd get in his head and pull out strategic blocks in his emotional Jenga tower. If she managed to survive the actual fight, a month later, he'd be a basket case.
Respond code 3
I can see that.
Suspect there now, Oakwood.
You ever date an ocelot?
Is now code
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, not literally, obviously, but I can't ever go back to El Paso again.
Yeah, I can see that about you. You're pretty lynxy.
Thanks. I like to think so.
Suspect there now, Vermont.
The thing is, I think ocelots would be a great time if you were having a great time already.
Now, and Oakwood.
Then, a week or two in, you wake up one morning, hungover, in a cheap motel, surrounded by a family of pissed off tapers. The ocelot's gone and you're left picking up the pieces.
Yeah, been there. The curtain just moved again.
Call it in. We're going to base this week's cocktail on a dad joke of my own invention. Why does a melon have to have a church wedding? Because it can't elope. I'm very proud of that. Anyway, as we often do, we're going to fill our glass, in this case a Collins glass, with the straight sides, and our cocktail shaker with ice. Not all the way, but 4 or 5 ice cubes per. And we're going to start with, I've got a whole shelf full of these little 2-ounce bottles of alcohol that I've picked up at one time or another that seemed like a good idea. And then somehow I've never gotten around to actually needing pineapple schnapps. But anyway, that's 100 proof pineapple schnapps, and it's 2 ounces of it. And we're going to add an equal amount, 2 ounces of fresh cantaloupe juice. Now, cantaloupes are tricky. It's hard to tell before you actually slice into it if it's going to be a good one or not. And because it's still the start of cantaloupe season where I am, it does not have the brightest flavor. It could benefit from some acid. So we're going to add everybody's best friend in a cocktail, an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. That's just half a lime has given us just under a full ounce. So let's fold it over, see if we can, yep, there we go. So I call that a full ounce of lime juice. So 3 ingredients: pineapple schnapps, fresh cantaloupe juice, and fresh squeezed lime juice. Shake, 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 shake till we hear little bits of ice break apart. And then we are just pouring it off into our Collins glass. And yeah, if one of the ice cubes makes a break for it, it's okay. He'll be adopted into his new cocktail family for the short time that he has left. And because this could benefit from a little fizz, we're going to top it with, let's say, 2 ounces of plain seltzer or club soda. I like using a straw for tall drinks. And let's see what we got. Delicious cantaloupe. I'm not going to argue against the pineapple schnapps, but what draws it all together, not a surprise, is our friend the lime making friends wherever he goes.